starts with breaking news.
A 16-year-old boy was arrested for the murder of a man in northwest Omaha. Some of it followed a high-speed chase.
This is the 6th arrest in the investigation now. Like several of the others, he's being charged as an adult for homicide and robbery, among other charges. Investigators believe at least 3 of the boys were armed at the homicide scene near 93rd and Katy last week. 64-year-old Mursal Jama was shot and killed, his car stolen. Police captured several of the juveniles after a high-speed chase out of Nebraska City.
Huge sign of